your redefinition of socialist to mean free markets where workers are participating in a free market is bizarre to me. I mean, and it also runs wildly anti, frankly, the basic texts of Marxism, like the Communist Manifesto.
Full disclosure, I am a socialist. And so much for the tolerant right. So my question is about—
You're here, right? I mean, like, we'll treat you well, don't worry.
So my question is, I've seen your videos, I've seen you at other universities here talking about the immorality of socialism, and when you do, you focus on socialism as the idea of wealth redistribution, you know, taking from the rich, giving to the poor, taking from whoever, giving to whoever. But I think that ignores and that misses the point of what many socialists, myself and many of my comrades, see socialism as being. Setting aside any notions of wealth redistribution, someone already asked about that, what is so immoral about believing that a worker is entitled to the full value of their labor?
So if you're asking whether I'm okay with, for example, private sector unions, workers get together and they go to the owner and they say, we want more of the profit margin. Sure, as long as you're not kneecapping somebody, right? But if you kneecap somebody, then I don't approve of your means anymore. If you're asking me if a bunch of workers decide to get together and form a joint stock corporation, of course, that's how most corporations are formed. Most LLCs are formed this way. It's a couple of guys who get together, band their labor together. It's like two guys. And then after it grows, they decide to hire other people. So we need to be very specific. When you talk about the ownership of the means of production, are you talking about my version, because that's called capitalism, or are you talking about where the government owns the means of production or crams down on voluntary associations' rules as to the means of production?
I'm talking about neither. I reject state socialism personally. What I'm referring to is specifically, for example, the term given is worker cooperatives. The most prominent example, the Mondragon Corporation in Spain, owned there is no investor or capitalist group that owns the profits. When the company turns a profit, that profit is distributed among the workers, some 80,000 employees. It's a wildly successful corporation.
I mean, is it a voluntary association? Is there any cram down happening?
No, there's not.
Then good, it's capitalist. That's not socialist.
It's not.
That's free market.
That's simply not what capitalism is, though. The term capitalism was coined in the 1850s by a French socialist named Louis Blanc.
Right, as a derogatory term. Right, I should actually use the term free market. It's a free market system when voluntarism is associated with it.
Right, so that assumes that markets are unique to capitalism, that capitalism has the sole claim on markets, when no one has...
You're not arguing for anything that is that violates any single prescription of free markets that I have laid forth. So I'm wondering, if we're just arguing over, you're saying that my free market terminology is actually socialist terminology, then we're arguing over semantics. What is it about what I have said that you actually don't like? I'm still wondering.
All right, well, what I don't like about what you've said, I believe it's intellectually dishonest for you to lay unequivocal claim for capitalism on the market system and simply say, all right, that's it. I believe that's intellectually dishonest. I think it misrepresents what socialism is.
There's not a single theorist of markets who would disagree with a single proposition that I've laid at the roots of what markets are. Not one. Okay, there's not one. And your redefinition of socialist to mean free markets where workers are participating in a free market is bizarre to me. I mean, and it also runs wildly anti, frankly, the basic texts of Marxism, like the Communist Manifesto.